I can get your picture, okay? So now say hi!
Hi!
Hello, hello! Are you guys ready to become newspaper reporters?
No big deal. This is really
I can hardly wait.
serious, and you're not yelling things out.
Well, we are excited to read some more of the book today.
Yes, and we're gonna read the book, and we're gonna talk about making a newspaper. And before we begin, I want somebody to tell me what happened in the 2 chapters that I wasn't there to read.
Okay, Antoine.
Because I'm forgetful. I need to know, you know, because...
So when we were here last time, Marty, we had Lance found his home, and he made friends with Rennie, and Rennie licked his nose.
I heard
That's
that.
what happened.
Yeah.
Somebody tell me what happened.
Antoine, what's one thing that happened?
One thing is that Rennie didn't want to wear her shoes to school because she hated her shoes so much.
Ah, she hates shoes? Why?
Why?
Because they hurt her feet somehow. And also the bunny was trying to bury him, that way she didn't have to move down.
Oh, okay, well, so back up a little bit. So Rennie doesn't like shoes, and how does that become burying shoes? Is she burying her shoes? What happened?
Reese?
Well, the dog buried her shoes, so that it would be a problem because then she couldn't go to school.
Oh, so is Lance trying to help Rennie?
Yeah.
What does Lance think about shoes?
Okay, who can tell what Lance thinks about it? Taylor?
Do you think that there is a reason why
I couldn't hear, I'm sorry.
Can't hear, you gotta speak a lot louder. Can you say it loud?
Say it really loud.
he
He thinks,
weird?
yeah.
He thinks they're weird.
He thinks they're weird. What's the P word that he uses? Do you know?
Ooh, who knows that? Obal, do you know the word?
Peculiar.
Good. What's the difference between peculiar and perplexing?
Christian?
Perplexing means that they're interesting, and peculiar means they're mysterious. Like that toy is perplexing, but that animal is peculiar.
Okay. Can somebody else help her a little bit? That's very close. What's another word for perplexing?
No one?
Yeah.
Can you speak up?
Another word for perplexing is like.
Oh, I don't understand. What is a good word for that?
Paxton.
Strange.
Perplexing, not peculiar. Peculiar means strange. Perplexing.
Thing means
Austin.
They wonder about something.
You wonder about it because it's what?
can you understand it?
Do you think Lance understands shoes? Okay, so when you don't understand it and you don't get it, why is that?
There you go. I'm thinking of a C word.
Like, what?
Curious.
Close.
Okay, I'm done.
Okay,
Confusing.
confusing.
Yay! That's the word we want. So if you don't understand something, and it's really kind of got your brain all fuzzy, then it's confusing. Okay? All right, so let's find out what happens next. So Lance buried the shoes because he's trying to help Rennie, and Rennie doesn't like shoes, and Lance thinks that shoes are peculiar. Is that right? Have I got it?
Yeah.
Okay, are we ready to start reading?
I think so.
Okay, so everybody stretch. All right, here we go. Chapter 5. Are we ready? Okay, everybody. Let me find chapter 5. Here we go. Problem solved, problem created. I confess I was very disappointed in Doxy. I went to him for advice about holes, and he refused to help. I left the dog park after class and didn't even say goodbye. But Doxy's disapproval didn't make me stop digging. Every day for the next 6 days, I dug a new hole and buried another shoe. Soon, only one shoe from each pair was left, but no one seemed to notice. The only shoes I didn't bury were Rennie's flip-flops. They were always beside the front door, and I didn't want to get caught. Plus, Rennie had decided flip-flops weren't real shoes. She would wear them to the store and other places where shoes were required. With all of the shoes buried, I thought Rennie's problems were solved. No shoes meant no school, and she could stay home and play with me. My first clue that my plan had some bugs was when Mom looked in Rennie's closet the week before school started. She decided that everyone, including Marshall and Sandra, should try on their school clothes. She wanted to be sure everything fit and looked okay. "Aw, Mom," Rennie said. "No whining, Rennie. This is important," Mom insisted. "And that goes for you too as well," she added, pointing at Marshall and Sandra. "Just because you're teenagers doesn't mean you can dress like slops." Reluctantly, everyone trudged upstairs. I was right behind Rennie when Mom opened her closet. I could hardly wait to see how happy Rennie would be when Mom said she didn't have to go to school. Instead, Mom took one look at the floor of Rennie's closet and said, "Renee Cassandra Boehner, get over here," in a very stern voice. "What's the matter, Mom?" Rennie asked. "I said get over here right now." Rennie hurried over to the closet. "What's the meaning of this?" It took a few seconds for Rennie to understand, but when she did, her eyes got really big. "Oh, wow," she said. "Where are your shoes, Rennie?" Mom asked. "I don't know, Mom," Rennie said. "They didn't just walk off on their own," Mom said. Her face was red and her voice was getting angrier. "I know how much you hate shoes, but this is too much." "I didn't do anything, Mom," Rennie protested. "Don't make it worse by lying," Mom said. "What's the matter? What happened?" Marshall asked from the bedroom door. "I didn't do it," Rennie wailed, bursting into tears. "Didn't do what?" Sandra asked, joining Marshall. "Half your sister's shoes are missing," said Mom, pointing at the floor of the closet. "For real?" Sandra asked, walking over to take a look. "I'm impressed." "This is not funny, Sandra," said Mom in her most serious voice. "Those shoes cost good money." Okay, said Sandra, looking offended. Marshall took Rennie by the shoulders and made her look at him. "Why don't you tell us what happened to the shoes?" "I don't know," Rennie shouted. "Why don't you believe me?" She turned and ran out the door and down the stairs. "There she goes again," Mom sighed. "I swear she spends half her time hiding in closets." "Rennie doesn't tell lies, Mom," said Marshall. "There must be some other explanation." Meanwhile, I began to realize that my plan had backfired. While Marshall and Mom and Sandra were arguing about what to do, I tucked my tail between my legs and followed Rennie downstairs. I found her curled in her favorite spot in the closet. Sorry.
Sorry.
I whined, licking the side of her face. It tasted like salty tears. "I hate shoes and I hate school," she said, hugging me close. "Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear."
Oh dear.
Everything was going wrong. Instead of being happy, Rennie was upset and in trouble, and it was all my fault. The problem was I didn't know how to fix the mess I'd made. The end of chapter 5. So how many of you expected that? How many thought Rennie was gonna get in trouble? You think it was a good idea to bury the shoes?
No.
I don't think so either. Poor Lance. He doesn't understand people very well, does he? Okay, so let's change. Well, first of all, does anybody have any questions I should ask? Any questions about the reading?
Oh, okay. Does anyone have any questions about that chapter? No questions, I guess.
Okay, good. All right. So let's change the subject to our newspaper. Does anybody remember what the name of the newspaper is?
Awesome.
The Des Moines Doggy Daily.
Des Moines Doggy Daily. So what I'd like you guys to do, did everybody have your piece of paper? Something to write with? So I'm going to show you the front, something called a template, which is like an outline. It'll show us where we're going to put the articles and the pictures for the newspaper's front page. Okay, so give me a second. And then we're going to talk about the different jobs everybody can do, okay? So who can tell me one job that people do in the newspaper?
What's it done?
What's one job?
Okay, a reporter.
And what do reporters do? Tell me when you can see the picture.
Yep.
This is the front page of your newspaper. How does it look? Okay, all right. So a reporter does what? Do they write stories from their imagination?
No.
Okay, so what do they do?
Hey, raise your hand if you know what a reporter does. What do they do for their job?
They take pictures of stuff.
Are they the one taking pictures?
No. They can go up to someone and ask.
Okay, they go up to people and ask what they think.
Okay, so let's write down, everybody got your pencil? I want you to write down these words. Reporter. Can somebody spell reporter for me?
Ian?
Yes.
R-E-P-O-R-T-E-R.
Yes, very good. So a reporter is somebody who collects facts. So what are facts? Does anybody know what facts are?
What are facts, Lena?
Like information that you can prove.
Information that's true. That's correct. So for example,
you can prove.
that is what?
That you can prove.
Yes, yes, yes.
Proof
Exactly.
also.
Good. Good. So a fact might be my birth date. I can prove that, right? Okay, so information that you can prove. What else does a reporter do? Takes that information and does what?
Write the story.
Yes, and what kind of story? Is it all imagination? Like the story of Lance?
It's a real story.
Right. So you write a story based on facts that is real. Okay, so you try to be as accurate. Don't make mistakes with your facts. Does that make sense to everybody? Everybody got the idea of what a reporter does?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So the second word I'd like you to write down, I think maybe I'll add a layer to this.
You got reporter written down?
Yeah.
Okay. So the second, I think I'm going to write this with you so you can help you a little bit. So the second word I'd like us to talk about is editorial. Editorial. Who can spell that for me?
Anybody want to try that one? Oval?
E-D-I-O-R-I-A-L.
Can you say it really, really loud? You got it right. Really loud.
E-D-I.
Yep. Yep.
R-I-A-L.
Wow, great job. That's a hard word to spell. Yes, that's right. So
No.
what's an editorial? Who can tell me what that means? What's an editorial?
Austin, you want to give that a try?
They edited stuff like in the story.
Well, that's a good guess because it does start with the word edit, right?
It does, doesn't it? Yeah, that was a really good guess.
Who else has an idea about an editorial? And if a reporter writes the news and information and the facts and the true story, the editorial is going to do something different. What do you think? What? things in before it's done.
Edit. They edit.
No, that's what somebody else said. No, edit it.
Don't edit. Does anybody know the word opinion? What's an opinion?
Ian, what's an opinion?
Something that you like, or like it's, yeah, what you like.
Okay, it could be what you like. What else?
Could be.
It's the best.
Something that you think is the best.
Do all opinions have to be good?
What do you think? Do all opinions have to be good?
No. No.
Not necessarily.
What does point of view mean? Does anybody know?
I hope so. We've talked about it. You want to know what point of view means? Someone's point of view. Yep, Caitlin?
It can be your point of view of a story.
Okay, it could be your point of view.
Yeah, there we go. Now we're starting to get it. So if you have an opinion or a point of view about a subject, what does that mean?
If you have an opinion or point of view, what does that mean?
Does an opinion or point of view have to be the same as your friends or your parents or your teacher? Right. So a point of view is just your opinion, your idea, right? And why is that important? Why is that important? Why do we need to know your point of view?
Some people might have something, a point of view, and they might want to know something about you, so they might want to know your point of view.
Yes, and if you have, for example, if you can tell a good story and you have a point of view that is very interesting, could that help other people change their point of view?
Good. That's kind of what we're doing right now, right? We're writing opinion stories and we're giving them what we think and why. That's kind of what we're doing right now.
And that's important because that's how we make a big picture story. We get one person's idea, another person's idea, and together we write the big editorial, the big picture, okay? So in our newspaper, we are going to write editorials from the perspective of a dog. What do you think that means?
Zoe? Louder.
From a dog's point of view.
Yeah, but what does that mean?
What's that?
Audrey?
The dog's telling a story.
Say it louder.
The dog's telling a story.
That's right. Yeah. So I am telling Lead with Your Heart through whose perspective, whose point of view? Yeah. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to choose dogs and we're going to write a story, an editorial based on the dog's point of view. Okay? All right. So here's the third job we're going to do. What's an interviewer?
Dylan?
An interviewer is like they're interviewing, like they're showing them like where to go, like what to do, and like showing like where they need to go.
Not necessarily where to go. If you interview someone, you're having a certain kind of conversation. What do you think an interview is going to be like, Grace?
It's like getting like you're trying to get a job or something.
Oh, that's one kind of interview, yeah. So in an interview, you ask questions. In our newspaper, we're going to interview people about what?
What do you think we might ask them about, Owen?
Like how the dogs are.
Okay, how old the dogs are, information about the dog.
Yeah. We're going to ask information about animals and dogs in particular, okay? Does that sound right?
Okay, write that one down. Interviewer. Someone that's going to ask questions about the dogs and find out information, maybe about what they need and what they're like.
or what their jobs are like. For example, what's the job of somebody at an animal shelter? We could ask them, right? Okay, so now here's the fourth one. What's a reviewer? Different from an interviewer, what's a reviewer?
Okay, talks about something over again.
Right, so if you read a book and you review it, what do?
You read it a lot of times.
You might read it a lot of times.
Read it, and then do you say nothing about it?
Emma?
Like,
Keep on talking about it. Okay.
Good. Okay, you talk about it, but since we're writing, we're writers, right? We're making a newspaper. We're going to read a book and share what?
Rudy?
share what it's about.
Share what it's about.
Good. We're going to share what it's about, and we just learned this word again. What is this?
Tell our what? What's that word, everybody?
Yeah, right. So we're going to share what it's about and our opinion. It's important to share your opinion. Because if you tell somebody that it's a really good book, do you think they're going to read it? Yeah. You tell me that Lead With Your Heart is a really good book, I'd want to read it. Okay, and our very last job is a photographer. Photographer or artist?
We have lots of hands up.
What are those?
Okay. What is that?
People who draw pictures.
Yep. What does a photographer do?
Okay, what's the photographer do? Lynn?
It takes pictures.
You take pictures with a pencil?
No.
What do you use? What do we use to take pictures? Yeah, a camera. Okay. So an artist uses drawing tools, a photographer uses a camera. So we're going to have 5 jobs for our newspaper, okay? And your teachers will work with you to help you figure out which one you want to do. But in your blogs this week, I would love it if you would talk about which job you'd like to do. Okay?
You guys have some details written down about each one, so you can kind of pick which one you would really like to do.
Think about which one you like, and then you can decide. Your teachers will help you decide, okay?
Now, I've got a question. Can we have all 25 kids in each class all be the photographers?
No.
Can we have 23 out of 25 kids be the reporters?
No.
Okay. So even though a lot of you might want to have one job, we still will have to share the jobs and share the different opportunities to work on the newspaper, okay?
We're going to need to have all the jobs filled, okay? All right, so we want to show you a video. Do we have it ready to go?
I totally forgot about that. Hang on.
Want me to put it into the thing? The chat?
That would be fine. Otherwise, I can minimize it and look at my email again and bring it up.
So we're going to show you a video about an animal rescue group. They're going to come visit you. Here it is, YouTube.
Are off. Jenna is trying to talk to you.
Oops, sorry. Noisy. Here we go, I got it. Oops. Chat window.
I'm not seeing the chat window, so I don't know if it's...
It's on the right-hand side, and it's a little blue box with lines in it. There.
Okay. There we go.
So these are people that run an animal rescue organization, and they're fantastic. They have all kinds of programs with schools and other kids like you. And so I'm hoping that we can interview them and maybe interview some of the schools they work with and the other kids. Some of them are even 4th graders. Okay?
Also, this is telling about the Animal Rescue League here in Iowa. Please keep your clipboards quiet so you can hear. Jimmy.
Yeah, I can't hear.
Okay, are we ready to run it?
Yes, one more thing. While you guys are watching, I want you to be thinking like reporters, okay? Thinking about the things that you could report on from this organization or about this organization, okay?
Okay, so like what else would you want to know? If we could talk to these people, what would we ask them?
Yep.
Okay?
Good.
You could probably even jot something down on your paper too.
Good idea. Hit it.
It has been said it takes a village to impact change, and the ARL is grateful for each and every one of you who is part of the village to share your time, talents, and hearts on behalf of the animals. In 2014, the ARL Village members were both young and old. Just look at what we're doing at Windsor Elementary School.
The partnership between us here at Windsor and the Animal Rescue League, we've created Critter Camp, which is an additional foster placement for some of the animals that are overflowing at the Animal Rescue League. The 3 4th grade classrooms are working together to set up a foster program. We blog, we post on Facebook, and the kids do a lot of work trying to get their animals adopted. We help with the small animals, the rats and guinea pigs and rabbits, and it's been a good partnership to help the kids, but also to help the animals become more adoptable and socialized. The relationship between the kids and the animals has been really fun to watch. The animals have grown and changed and become much more comfortable in the atmosphere and with the kids and with other people. And the kids have learned a lot about empathy and understanding how, these animals may not have started out in life with the best of circumstances, and some of the kids can relate to that. They are so excited to come to school in the morning. They are coming in early trying to say, can I get in the cage? Can I play with the bunnies? We've had quite a few pets adopted that maybe wouldn't have been just sitting at the Rescue League or just sitting on the website. A lot of families are looking for small animals, so knowing that they have good experience with kids, that they're comfortable in loud and crazy environments, is very appealing, I think, to adopters to know that they've already kind of been kid tested and kid approved.
If you ever rent your pet, well, the benefits go both ways. Just watch.
This is the Amos High Literary Club. We bring students from Amos High Middle School into the ARL through cats, dogs, and the puppies. We feel that the program is important to the students because it not only helps with their fluency when they're reading, but it also helps their confidence as a reader. They're non-judgmental ears. It's just someone that can sit and listen to them, and it lowers their stress level. It lowers the animal stress level, especially when they speak softly to the animal. I've got 30 kids sitting on a waiting list, and I have new kids coming in saying, can I get permission slips? I was actually very surprised with how many students came to me, and even parents at conferences a couple weeks ago were like, how do I get my students in programs? The more education we can get to these kids, they'll understand the importance of staying calm around animals, how to communicate with animals, to bring a sense of calmness, not only to their lives, but also to somebody else's.
It's not surprising that all cats don't love cages. In fact, some prefer their own apartments. Take a look.
The purpose of the cat apartments is for those cats who can't handle the inside. They may have some behavioral issues. They may have never been held by humans before. The ARL gives them a second chance and a third chance, and we will work as hard as we can to get these cats to the point where they're adoptable. And by having these apartments, we can do that. This is a separate building. It has the separate kennels. It's climate controlled. They're cleaned every day. Some of the cats that I didn't think would ever come out, given enough time, given enough patience, have. And they have been wonderful cats. I think that's the reason why this is so very important, and thank the ARL for doing it.
When it comes to exercise, the ARL Running Club is one of the fittest in town, thanks to a group of dedicated runners and energetic canines.
The ARL Running Club is a new program here. We've been talking about it for a while, and it's just now coming to fruition.
The Running Club was created so that dogs can get energy out before people come in to see them so that people can hopefully focus on their personalities rather than their hyperactivity. The dogs wear special vests that advertise that they are an ARL dog. One of our runners was out the other day with a dog that had a vest on, and we heard later on that some people saw them running with the dog and came into the ARL and inquired about that specific dog and ended up adopting it. My favorite part is spending time with the dogs. I just love animals. I would absolutely encourage other people to get involved in the program, not only for themselves but the dogs too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That one's Nico, yeah.
Some of the biggest news for 2014 is our new horse training arena, but it wouldn't have been possible without the fundraising efforts of Lisa Kreitner.
Every now and then I go out to Animal Rescue League, and it started with my mother because she was really involved in it, and thought it was just a wonderful cause. I love horses, so I went out to see what horses there were and saw the facilities that they had to train these horses, and it was pretty minimal. And I said, this isn't going to do. If you want to make these horses adoptable as productive animals, we need a riding arena. I said, well, why don't we do a challenge grant? If you raise X amount of dollars, I will match that dollar for dollar. With the indoor arena, they will be able to teach the horse a lot more about bending and moving, trotting, cantering, and the facility will allow them to really train these horses to make them better suited for the adopter. I brought Chance home, and everybody was just surprised that they had horses. So hopefully people will come and see that they have wonderful horses available for adoption.
Every donation and every higher bid for the animals matters. This is what your dollars and higher bid really mean for the animals. $35 covers the initial vaccinations and exam for one incoming animal. $60 provides care for 4 animals for 1 day. $250 keeps all the animals for 1 day. It takes $325 to spay or neuter 5 animals. $550 will spay or neuter, vaccinate, and microchip 10 cats at no cost for low-income families. $2,500 provides care for 14 animals during their entire stay. And $5,000 will feed 6 horses for 1 full year. So there you have it. Just a glimpse of what the past year accomplished and where your donations go. Please be sure to keep following our Facebook page, our Midweek News Weekly e-newsletter, and Tail Waggers Quarterly magazine. We will continue to live out our mission to promote animal welfare, strengthen the human-animal bond, and prevent the overpopulation of pets. Thank you for being part of the village that cares about and for the animals. Please join us in celebrating these achievements, and here's to an even brighter future for the animals. And when you think you are done bidding, bid one more time for the animals. They thank you. Have a great evening.
Alexa gets back tomorrow, so.
What do you think of the ARL? Is it a pretty good group?
One of our students was really excited because he saw his aunt was one of the volunteers, so when she came on the screen, he got pretty excited about that. She was the one that was,
fantastic.
I think, talking about the running club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was she the one that was running with Nico?
Was that her that was running?
Was she the one that was talking or running both? I don't know. She was one. She was one of the.
That's fantastic.
And was that Nico? Because I said that looks a lot like Nico.
That was Nico.
She was running with Nico.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, for example, you could interview your aunt for the newspaper.
What a great idea.
Yeah. Why don't you think about interviewing your aunt? And so like another student could go with you and take the pictures.
Wow, wonderful idea.
So did this give you guys some ideas for what you might write about? Who else could you interview from that video?
Awesome. Okay, somebody that came in to get one of the dogs, to adopt a dog.
Good idea. Who else was in the video you might interview?
Emma?
The workers.
The workers.
Yes. Good.
Okay. What else?
The one that works at the school for all the teacher for all the animals.
Yeah, the teacher with the students that had the animals in their classroom. That's a great idea.
It's a great idea. More? Anybody got some other ideas?
Okay, what else?
The executive owner.
Okay, the executive owner, or maybe the person that was doing the video.
Great idea too. What would you think about maybe having a GHO with the other 4th graders that are doing the critter camp to take care of the animals in their classroom? What, do you think that's a good idea?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'd like you to write down the questions you think you would ask them. Okay, so you don't
have questions. What could we ask those 4th graders? We saw them at the beginning of the video that had the cages in their classroom and they were caring for the animals. What are some questions we could ask them about what they are doing? Can you think of a question and write it down?
So that when we call them and we talk to them, we can say, hi, we're the 4th graders from Delaware Elementary, and we'd like to interview you about your program with the ARL. Can you answer some of our questions? How does that sound? What was another group that was really interesting there?
What did you
have to do with books.
They read to the dogs and cats.
Okay, you said when they read to the dogs and cats.
Yeah, isn't that interesting? Do you think the animals like that?
Yeah. Do they understand the story? No, but what do they like about it?
They like the soft voices.
The soft voices, and it's just calm.
Maybe the company. You know, dogs and cats get lonely too, right?
Yeah.
So could we talk to those kids about reading? How about this? Remember the editorial? Remember what an editorial is? What if we pretended we were the dogs, or we were one of the cats, and we wrote an editorial about having kids read to us? What do you think?
That's a good idea.
You write from the animal's point of view about what that was like if a student came in to read to you, and what you liked about it. But
here I was, taking a nap, feeling lonely, and this big kid came with a book. And he sat down and he started talking to me. I had no idea what he was talking about. You know, you could tell a whole story from the dog or cat's perspective, yeah? So I'd like you to think about that too. If you were going to pretend to be a dog or a cat, and a student was reading to you, what would the dog or cat's story be? Okay. Anything else that looked interesting to you that we could write about?
The horse.
Ooh, what did you like about the horse?
What did you like about the horses?
That you can train horses now. Like they got a building.
Okay.
Bless you.
Anything else?
More hands?
There's that cat hotels.
Oh yes, the cat hotel. That was neat. I would like to know more about that, wouldn't you? Maybe we could interview that lady.
What would they be like big cat hotels?
The cat apartments.
You know what?
Do you have another idea?
Yeah, I like how the dog is running with the person.
The dogs running with the people?
Yeah, that was a good program. We could interview camps, right?
Yeah, they were able to get some exercise, but they weren't running away.
Is that a good program for the adults too?
Yeah, to get started.
Why do you think?
Why is that good for the adults too? Okay, it helps the adults exercise. And then what did that one lady say when she was out with the dog? Then what happened later? What happened later? Yeah, someone came in later and wanted to ask questions and maybe get the dog.
Mm-hmm. So it's like good advertising, isn't it?
Yeah, good advertising. Yeah. So one thing that kind of surprised me, I don't know about you guys, but I'd like to know more about why it costs so much to take care of animals. They spend a lot of money. Did you see that at the end?
Lots of money.
That's a lot of money. I'd like to know more about that.
Ooh, does somebody there want to be a financial reporter? What do you think a financial reporter reports on?
What they report on?
On camera. Like on a place.
No, financial. It's a big word. We don't talk a lot about it.
Like they report on the money that.
Yes.
There you go. There you go. That's right. Maybe somebody could report on how much it costs to run the ARL. What do you think?
Yeah. How much it costs to provide things for the animals, how much it costs to care for them and to get them the food that they need and the shelter and everything.
And maybe how do they get their money? Because I don't really understand that. Do you? How do they get their money?
Antoine?
Some people look at the videos and they just some money to them.
Yes.
Or they buy animals.
Okay. They might adopt an animal. They might donate money.
Yeah. Right? You guys know the word fundraiser?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
What does fundraising mean, Ian?
It's like when you go somewhere and get posters and ask people to help or donate money to help animals.
Okay, so I get a lot of people to help.
Fundraiser. Give me an example. What's something that people might do to raise money?
We did one just recently, right? What did you guys do?
You can sell stuff.
Yeah, you can sell stuff. How about walking? Have you ever seen a walking fundraiser?
Yeah.
How does that work?
Austin, do you know how that works?
You pay money you donate.
Okay, well, you might walk around a certain distance and other people will pledge money or say, I'll give this much money if you do this much walking or this many miles.
When I got another fundraiser for breast cancer.
Yes, we've seen some breast cancer runs and research.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Okay.
So we could ask them, the financial reporter could ask them about their fundraising. How's that? So we have lots of ideas now. So your job is to go back with your teachers and decide on which jobs you'll do and who we're going to interview and when. And then we'll coordinate it with you, okay?
Sounds good.
And I want to hear from you guys on your blogs. You're doing a great job on your blogs. I'm loving reading them. So keep blogging, and this week, please write about which job you'd like to do and why, okay?
And it might be, we have another hour of school left today, and then we have no school tomorrow, so it'll probably be beginning of next week.
That's okay.
Good. Perfect.
Right. We'll get it all done. It was great to see you guys again.
Thank you.
Keep reading. We'll see you next week, okay?